Now in 4 News Now at 6, more and more schoolwork is being done online across the Inland Northwest. How Spokane parents can get their hands on a laptop for their middle school students if they don't have access to a computer at home.
It was a hot first day of school, and it's only going to get hotter. I'll show you when our temps will peak in your first alert forecast. And remembering the beloved Wolf Lodge Inn, we're live with how the community is coming together to cope with the loss of a North Idaho landmark. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
Well, breaking news out of Coeur d'Alene right now. A 14-year-old kid is now suspended from Lakes Middle School.
Yeah, this after Coeur d'Alene police say he told several students he was going to shoot up the school tomorrow. Police visited the student's house and talked to his parents this afternoon. They say they don't believe there is an active threat to students or staff at Lakes Middle School. Officers also say the student does not have access to firearms. That teen boy is now suspended from school. He won't be able to go back to campus until the investigation is complete, if he gets to return at all. Police say criminal charges against the teen are now pending.
Also breaking tonight, the Spokane County Sheriff's deputy accused of beating a 62-year-old man has been fired. Thanks for being with us. I'm Derek Dice.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. We've been covering this for more than a year now. The body camera video we're about to show you from that night is graphic, and we do want to warn you it may be tough to watch. Kevin Hinton was on his way home from a 12-hour road trip when he pulled into a parking lot of Terrace View Park in Spokane Valley to rest. And that is when Sergeant Clay Hilton approached Hinton, telling him it was against the law to park there after dark. Hinton told the deputy he was going to move, but the sergeant asked him to show his ID. And when Hinton refused, you can see in this video, the sergeant pulled him out of the car and hit him several times. Hinton ended up in the hospital with 8 broken ribs and a punctured lung.
Last week, the Yakima County prosecutor said he planned to pursue felony assault charges. But today, Spokane County Sheriff John Knowles announced Hilton will no longer work for the department, saying, "I assure the citizens of Spokane County that we will continue to strive for excellence in our policing and hold ourselves to the high standards they expect. We will also hold accountable those who violate the public's trust and confidence placed in us as law enforcement professionals."
Well, Spokane Public Schools kicked off the school year today with plenty of changes surrounding students and technology. You've heard a lot about how the district is planning to restrict cell phone use across all schools, but the district is also making some changes to school laptops.
The changes will mainly affect middle schoolers who won't be given laptops at the beginning of the year. Derek Strom is live with how these changes will affect your student.
Derek, Kirsten, I'm here at Denny Yasuhara Middle School, where students will still have laptops available to them during the school day, but they will have to get the school's approval if they want to take one home with them. The Spokane School Board says students will be able to check out a laptop from the school, if they need to use it for schoolwork.
I'll be honest, my kid did damage a laptop last year, so I understand why they wanted to keep track of them.
Reducing the cost of lost or damaged laptops and equipment is one of the main reasons the Spokane School Board is changing the way middle schoolers will use laptops this school year. By having kids check out a laptop if they need one, Spokane Public Schools says the district will save money in the long term.
I will be curious to see down the road how much savings that does.
It will be, yeah.
With kids not taking them home and losing them or having them damaged.
Parents of middle schools in the district say they're not concerned about their students' ability to get their homework done under the new system. They say the new system makes sense to them, and they believe the new checkout system will work for families that don't have a computer at home.
This will be their school laptop. I have a work laptop as well. It's very much like that I'm not actually allowed to do my personal stuff on that laptop for the most part. So yeah, I think that's fine.
The Wood believes that providing internet access for all students is a much larger issue, and that's something that the school district might not have the resources to address.
Whether families have cheap, effective internet access in their homes, that's not something the schools are going to be able to control.
The project is always going to be refreshing, finding all of the devices.
The Spokane Public Schools says only 30% of middle school students were logging in from home. Students that do decide to check out a laptop this year will still be financially responsible if it's damaged or lost. Live in Spokane, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
All right, Derek, thank you. One of the biggest changes students and parents will notice this school year is Spokane Public Schools' stricter cell phone use policy. We've been telling you about this. Under the new policy, high schoolers can only use their phones in between classes and during lunch. Elementary school and middle school students can't use them at all until the end of the day. Dr. Adam Swinyard, the superintendent for Spokane Public Schools, stopped by our studio this morning to explain why the rule change was necessary.
Over the last decade and a half, it's just really evolved where kids are spending just an excessive amount of time on screens. And this is about setting some boundaries related to that.
Now, when the policy was announced, many were worried about how they would be able to contact their child during an emergency. To hear this superintendent address these concerns, you can watch our full interview on KXLY.com. I think the kids are going to not like it at first, obviously, but they'll get used to it, hopefully, over time.
I already got the reviews from today, and they were unfavorable.
I bet. Well, meteorologist Chris Crocker is here now, and Chris, it was a pretty hot first day of school.
Going to get hotter, though.
Yes, it is. In fact, today we were above average, but nothing like what is on the way. Here is our temperature trend for the rest of the school week, and I'll take you right into the weekend, so at least you can know that there'll be some summer fun waiting for you at the end of the school week. 89 tomorrow, 93 on Thursday, 95 on Friday, and 96 on Saturday. This white line right here is our average high. We are well above average, and I don't see any signs of average temperatures in the forecast. Our average high, by the way, is now in the 70s. As one temperature range we have not spent much time in over the past several months, and it is a very favorable temperature range. Right now, it is 80 degrees in Spokane. Beautiful view of the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. Right now, it's 80 in Coeur d'Alene with clear skies looking over the Veterans Memorial Bridge on I-90. We did wake up this morning with some showers around the region. Here's our satellite and radar starting off at 6 a.m. Even a few thunderstorms around Spokane, but we have cleared out and will be staying clear for a beautiful day on Wednesday. It is going to be warm. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes, Derek.
Chris, thank you. In Fire Watch coverage tonight, all evacuation orders have been lifted for the fire burning in the Dishman Hills area in Spokane Valley. Fire crews are still battling the Cimarron fire from air and on the ground, as it's only about 45% contained right now. We'll be keeping an eye on this fire, and we'll update you if conditions change.
Well, ash and rubble, that's all that's left behind of the beloved Wolf Lodge Inn Steakhouse just east of Coeur d'Alene. The manager's son was inside when the fire started. He tells 4 News Now a grill fire caused the destruction. Our Hunter Bertram is live there tonight with how the community is coping with this immense loss.
Well, Kirsten, they're coping by coming together, hugging one another, sharing memories that made the Wolf Lodge find a special place in their hearts. And despite the rubble you see behind me, many say this legacy is far from over. Cutting through the remnants of the Lodge Inn, a site that's
so sad. I mean, it's just a tragedy.
A Labor Day tragedy. That morning, the Wolf Lodge standing in glory, by noon engulfed in flames.
I'm a little bit in shock, to be honest, and a lot of sadness, because this is a piece of the neighborhood. It's been here so long.
A day after the fire, you can see many in the community stopped by, offering support any way they could. This woman brought flowers and a big hug.
Both my kids got their first jobs here, and you know, now they know what a good steak is.
Beyond good steaks, what made Wolf Lodge what it was is family.
Mothers have worked here, and then their daughters worked here. All of the Martell family, I think, worked here.
A family now grieving a tremendous loss. Heather Waits saying she's worried before this would happen.
I can't say I was fully surprised because I was always a little nervous of the wood shake on the building.
Yeah. In the end, this special place is gone, but not the legacy.
Everything else is replaceable. It's just stuff and memories and memories.
The memories, they live on.
Yes, they do.
And it speaks for itself through so many memories shared amongst people in northern Idaho that this place is special and will be remembered for a lifetime. And the official cause of the fire is still under investigation, and this may not be the end of Wolf Lodge. Tonight, it's still unclear whether or not the owners plan to rebuild. Live east of Coeur d'Alene, I'm Hunter Bertram for News Now.
Hunter, thank you so much. Well, throughout the years, the Wolf Lodge Inn has been the backdrop for countless cherished memories. Take a look at this photo of Angela Cavalar celebrating her father's birthday before he passed away. And this photo from Marcy Gannon celebrating her husband's birthday, saying they would try to go to the steakhouse at least once a year. We want to hear about your favorite experiences at this North Idaho landmark. You can share your memories with us by submitting your photos from the Wolf Lodge Inn and on our Facebook page.
Well, the race is heating up in the race to be the next governor of Washington. Coming up in about 20 minutes, we'll break down each candidate's stances on abortion rights.
And judging the judges coming up next, I'll show you ways to research the judicial candidates on your ballot before you cast your vote in November. That's next on 4 News Now at 6. And as we head to a break, we want to share some back-to-school photos many of you shared with us today.
Like this one of Dante taken right before his first day of 5th grade. You can see on his sign there, he hopes to one day become a NASA scientist.
All right, here is the Leo family from right to left. Hubert starting his first day of senior year, sister Sadie starting 9th grade, Jacob going into 6th, and in front, Arya is in kindergarten.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV. Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY Plus.
This summer, don't sweat it. Bill's Heating and AC has you covered with the best prices on air conditioners and heat pumps. Guaranteed. With over 3,000 5-star reviews, we're the locally owned company you can trust. Our expert technicians provide fast, reliable service to ensure your home stays comfortable all season long. And should you ever have an issue, we're open 7 days a week to provide immediate help. So what are you waiting for? Call Bill's Heating and AC for your free quote today.
Each month, 4 News Now is focusing on a cause that's important to our community by helping to get the message out. This is good for you to know.
At Ability, we can empower anyone with a disability to realize their dreams and their goals. Our staff are a bunch of dedicated individuals who absolutely love what they do and have a passion and a heart for this work. The real magic happens when our job developers build that relationship with the business, then they'll introduce the client to that business, and then the outcome happens. And then down the road, you see that culture within the workplace develop and change. You can't put a price on what our folks can bring to the work environment. They're getting that interaction out in the community. That's how that becomes super powerful. You know, it elevates not only the client, but the family as well. When life says you can't, Ability says you can.
The Gamma knife we have here in Spokane is the state-of-the-art, top-of-the-line Gamma knife that is available in the world.
The brain is high-priced real estate. It's very important for cognition, physical function. You only want to hit the tumor and give very, very little dose to the surrounding brain.
It's the only machine capable of delivering this type of precision and with almost no interruption in any of the other treatments that they need.
Not only is this the best radiation technology, but it's delivered by a caring team of professionals who have been doing this for decades.
Visit Fred's Appliance today and discover unbeatable deals on the largest selection of in-stock, get-it-today inventory in the region. Don't miss out on this limited-time offer to upgrade your kitchen with the Frigidaire Professional 4-piece package and save up to $3,100. Experience precision cooking with this Frigidaire range. Keep your dishes sparkling with this professional dishwasher. This sleek microwave offers sensor cooking technology, and this fabulous refrigerator designed with our Space Pro shelving system.
Whether you are actively involved with these judges or not, still, it's very important to pay attention to who's running and to cast your vote.
Well, you'll hear a lot about candidates in various races between now and November, but how much do you know about judicial candidates? Most of the time, they're the candidates on our ballots we know the least about.
Yet, judges can play a massive role in our everyday lives, and we're more likely to interact with a judge than we are, say, a governor or a congressman. So I looked into how we can judge the judges and make better educated choices come November. First off, what does a local Superior Court judge even do?
Public has a lot of different resources.
Darren DeJacinto, the president of the Spokane County Bar Association's Board of Trustees, says judges deal with disputes between people and they have a lot of authority.
The judges at the Superior Court level are given general authority to preside over both civil and criminal matters, over juvenile matters, things that it could be anything between a business dispute to a dissolution or a divorce, to a criminal accusation.
Michael Cecil, an assistant professor at the Gonzaga School of Law, says judges are like referees. After hearing arguments from both sides, they make a ruling within certain guidelines.
But there always is that element of personal investigation and evaluation of one's character, the veracity of their kind of remorse over a particular crime, and how much sentence should be given. So those kinds of decisions play an incredibly important role.
That's why every year the Spokane Bar Association puts out its judicial candidate evaluation results.
It's meant to be a resource. It's not meant to be a comprehensive deep dive for everything about every candidate.
But it's pretty thorough. More than 300 bar members responded to a third-party poll asking them to rank judicial candidates in these 5 categories: legal ability, judicial temperament, integrity, relevant legal experience, and suitability. Then, a cross-section of the bar membership
will then serve as the judicial evaluation panel for interviewing the candidate and reviewing the bar results and ultimately coming up with a determination on recommendations related to each of these candidates.
And that leads to one of 4 recommendations: exceptionally well qualified, qualified, or not qualified. These recommendations are on the Spokane County Bar Association's website right now. But can individual bias creep into these results?
Is it possible that there are attorneys out there that have opinions about the candidates? Of course it is. But that's a part of having the broad swath of feedback from all of our bar members.
Cecil says the bar evaluation results are good for voters, but
I would say it is important to make independent investigations.
He says you can do this by simply jumping online.
Looking at websites, going on YouTube, and actually looking at the interviews and listening to the interviews and hearing what the judges stand for and how they hope to uphold the rule of law and improve the judicial system.
And what about endorsements? You might see that a certain political group or a civil rights group endorses a particular candidate. DeJacinto and Cecil both say you need to dig deeper.
Can be a telling feature in evaluating, but I don't think it's an end-all be-all that answers, any of the questions in any black and white level, but it is guidance.
Those endorsements are good, are suggestive, but not conclusive in how you should vote for a candidate.
There are plenty of websites to help you learn about judicial candidates, but the bottom line is this: if you want to make an educated choice on judges this November, you'll need to do your own research.
Please investigate the veracity and the temperament and the character of the judges that are running for office, and make a decision based on your own conscience. I think that's the most important thing as a voter in democracy.
Good to hear that. Jump on YouTube, do your own research. And Derek, I noticed you didn't name any of the judicial candidates in this story.
Yeah, and that was intentional, right? We're not trying to sway you one way or another for somebody who might appear on your ballot. It's really about, look, we often don't know a lot about these judges candidates, so here's how you can find more information. And again, try to make that better educated choice come November. Chris?
Thank you for that, Derek. Very interesting. Our high today, 82 degrees. It'll be the coolest day of the week. 78 is our average high. Sunset these days at 7:25. We did have some showers around the region this morning, but nothing measured out at the airport. Look how far we are year to date behind our average. A little over 2.5 inches, 2.55 to be precise. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Sports on 4 News Now is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino.
Satay Bistro, Coeur d'Alene's culinary extravaganza of American fusion dining. From our extensive wine cellar to our unforgettably decadent menu, we'll move your experience beyond ordinary to the extraordinary. Satay Bistro, just off the 4th Street exit in Coeur d'Alene.
Get ready to dance, because tomorrow, the new cast of Dancing with the Stars will be revealed live on GMA. Who will be dancing this season? Just wait till you see. Live only on Good Morning America.
Elegance, style, quality, custom made for your project. Agalite shower doors and bath enclosures by River City Glass are designed for a lifetime of use. Timeless beauty that speaks for itself with superior quality and exceptional value. Offering exquisite custom wine room enclosures and office room glass, specializing in custom mirrors crafted to fit your space. Producing high-performance glass for every project, residential and commercial. River City Glass.
It's fall and the games are on. Get out and support your local teams. Here's this week's schedule.
Here we go.
EWU.
Here we go now. Here we go. Here we go.
Gonzaga.
Now. Here we go. Here we go now.
U of I.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
WSU.
Here we go now. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Whitworth.
Now. Here we go. Here we go now.
Game On is proudly brought to you by BECU.
In Comes Company, the smash hit Broadway musical. Winner of 5 Tony Awards, including Best Revival of a Musical. Company is a hilarious musical masterpiece about life, love, and good company. Critics give it 5 stars, saying yes. It's really that good. Playing September 11th through 15th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Satay Bistro, Coeur d'Alene's culinary extravaganza of American fusion dining. From our extensive wine cellar to our unforgettably decadent menu, we'll move your experience beyond ordinary to the extraordinary. Satay Bistro, just off the 4th Street exit in Coeur d'Alene.
Well, in honor of the first day of school, here is a photo of our very own Chris Crocker. I love that red book that you're holding.
My dad just told me to hold that book, so it looked like
I like the haircut.
I couldn't read.
Do we know what grade that is?
That is first grade. That's the first day of first grade. That is 1974. And I would wear that dress now. I look like a little businesswoman with my red book.
We can't laugh too hard because we're going to show pictures of us later.
I know. Oh, I can't wait for that.
There's a tease. Stick around.
Spoiler alert, I am not a natural blonde, as you can see there. Let's talk about 4 things to know about your weather. We have a warming trend in your forecast. You've probably been hearing us talk about that for a while. Good news, our air quality has already been improving. We are just barely in the moderate range right now in Spokane. We're trending toward good, may get into the moderate range at times, and maybe talking about ground level ozone instead of smoke, with the temperatures that are going to be in the 90s through the weekend. We'll actually top out just below tomorrow, and then we're warming into the 90s, and no sign of rain until potentially a week from today, but it doesn't look that good because we have got this big ridge of high pressure dominating our weather pattern through the work week. By the time we're into the weekend, it is going to start to shift a little bit to the east. That will allow an increase in clouds, but no precipitation, and eventually we'll get some cooler air in next work week, but we're going to stay in the 90s through Sunday. 93, and then temperatures start to drop. We'll be in the 80s Monday and Tuesday, but this line way down here is our average high, which is going to be in the mid-70s by this time next week, and I don't see any 70s on the way until possibly the 8 to 14 day forecast, where you can see the heat has shifted to the east along with that ridge of high pressure. We are going to be right on the western edge of that ridge, trending toward above average temperatures, but that might be closer to average, which again will be in the mid-70s by that time. Here's that air quality that I was telling you about. We're looking in pretty good shape. The yellow is in the moderate range, and we're seeing things improve. Had a little smoke in the air earlier today. This is elevated smoke, so this is that haze on the horizon, not necessarily what you're breathing. If I was showing the surface smoke, nothing would show up because we're doing pretty good. By Wednesday, enough of a shift in our winds that we're really going to start clearing out and see this very, very light smoke, just indicating again, you look on the horizon, you may see some haze, but you are not going to be breathing in that smoke. Wednesday morning's lows will be in the 50s and lower 60s, but we are going to warm up quickly. A lot of locations in the 90s, including downtown Spokane, Meade, 9 Mile will be in the 90s right in the Spokane area as well. Out at the airport, 89, but then it is 90s. We average 1 90-degree day in the month of September. I've got 4 in the forecast, and we already have 1 in the bank. And then there's that 20% chance of showers on Tuesday, Kirsten.
Yeah, it is already feeling hot. Thank you, Chris. Well, reproductive rights are now in the forefront in the race to be Washington's next governor. We'll fact check the candidates to see if they even have the power to do anything about abortion care if elected.
Plus, we'll take a look at what's next for the hotel industry as worker strikes start to wind down across the country.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Free, fair, and secure elections are the backbone of our democracy. Whether it's an election to choose our state's next leaders or to decide on a local measure, election officials work tirelessly to ensure every eligible voter's voice is heard. Regular integrity checks against federal and state databases ensure Washington's voter roll is clean and accurate. Visit votewa.gov today to check your voter registration and get ready to vote. That's votewa.gov.
This summer, don't sweat it. Bill's Heating and AC has you covered with the best prices on air conditioners and heat pumps. Guaranteed. With over 3,000 5-star reviews, we're the locally owned company you can trust. Our expert technicians provide fast, reliable service to ensure your home stays comfortable all season long. And should you ever have an issue, we're open 7 days a week to provide immediate help. So what are you waiting for? Call Bill's Heating and AC for your free quote today.
Exploring different regions throughout the Northwest and beyond can be fun and educational. 4 News Now would like to showcase these locations with Travel for Adventures.
Grant County, Washington is filled with opportunities to explore some of Washington State's most diverse geological regions. From small towns to huge waterways dotted with campgrounds and beautiful scenery, come enjoy the spectacular recreation it offers.
Enjoy a free tour at Grand Coulee Dam, topped off with a spectacular light show projected on the dam in the evening.
Check out the world-class fishing at Banks Lake, maybe some golf at Royal City, or explore the caves at Lenore Lake.
From wine tasting in Quincy to live entertainment at the Gorge. From the Sandhill Crane Festival in Othello to the Wanapum Heritage Center in Mattawa, you'll find plenty to enjoy by boat, by car, by bike, or on foot in this vast and beautiful region known as Grant County.
Discover more places you might like to visit. Go to KXLY.com/travel4adventures.
It's Coeur d'Alene Casino's Core Stars Entertainment Series.
I love you too.
Harmony, one of country's most undeniable hit makers. Live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, September 12th. Ready for action? It's no holds barred as King of the Cage features up-and-coming MMA stars battling it out live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, October 10th. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or cdacasino.com to buy your tickets now.
Winning is just the beginning.
4 News Now is brought to you by Ironstone Furniture and Fire.
Well, around the nation, thousands of hotel workers went on strike to draw attention to post-pandemic work conditions they say are untenable.
Workers at hotels from Boston to Seattle to Hawaii are expected to end short strikes that started during the holiday weekend, but they could ramp up in other cities. CNN's Karen Kafa explains what's next for hotel workers and others in the travel industry.
After as many as 10,200 hotel workers at 25 hotels from Boston to the West Coast to Hawaii went on strike during the busy Labor Day weekend.
An industry like this should be offering adequate wages for people to only need one job to live.
At least 840 employees went back to work Tuesday. The strikes plan to last just 2 or 3 days, but make workers heard. Unite Here, the union representing hotel workers, says workers want more pay and a restoration of some practices scrapped during the COVID-19 COVID-19 pandemic, like daily room cleaning.
As those services remain cut, it makes the work harder for the workers that remain.
Affected hotels have stayed open, but with some service disruptions, which can have an impact even when strikes are short.
Groups may cancel or postpone their events. There's guests who may choose not to travel because the dining room is closed or the spa is closed, and those sorts of disruptive elements.
Sean Hennessy of New York University's Tisch Center of Hospitality says travel may be booming, but hotels and airlines and restaurants have faced the squeeze of inflation.
Things like wage rates, taxation, utility costs, food costs, those have all increased dramatically. And while the top line performance of hotels has improved, the bottom line is not screamingly good, if you will.
Hilton and Hyatt are among the hotel chains that have seen strikes this week, and both have said they are committed to reaching deals with a union. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Well, WSU's premier home game of the season is this Saturday as they take on Texas Tech.
We hear from the Cougs about the importance of the matchup coming up in sports.
And abortion laws are now the subject of conversation in the governor's race. We're cutting through the noise and we'll tell you whether or not the governor has any authority over Washington's abortion laws coming up.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
The Spokane Fair is Friday, September 6th to Sunday, September 15th. All first responders, firefighters, police, and hospital workers receive free fair admission. Wednesday, September 11th for Heroes Day. Compliments of Carpet Barn. Learn more at thespokanefair.com.
What can we make for you today from the Sweet Palace in Phillipsburg, Montana?
Mr. Casino Hotel is open north of Spokane on Highway 395. Stay with us, relax and rejuvenate while taking advantage of our amazing amenities, including a restaurant and lounge. Our coffee corner is open daily at 5:30 a.m. Mr. Casino Hotel is the perfect spot to book your next special event. We have a 4,000 square foot event center and an exceptional team ready to help you host your event. We invite you to stay and play. Make your reservations now at MrQuad.com.
North Idaho Urology, in partnership with Cancer Care Northwest. We specialize in advanced prostate cancer care.
I'm Dr. Aaron Wagner. I'm a radiation oncologist with Cancer Care Northwest. We have quite a few different treatment options for prostate cancer, ranging anywhere from standard radiation and IMRT approaches to SBRT to brachytherapy, a full spectrum of different prostate cancer treatments. We very much try to individualize their treatment plan for them.
Deodorant, but not as you know it. For thighs, folds, pits, and bits. 72-hour odor control, full of skin-loving ingredients. Plus, it's dermatologist and gynecologist approved. Introducing whole body deodorant from Dove.
Frizz, dryness, breakage. New Dove 10-in-1 Serum Hair Mask with Peptide Complex fortifies hair bonds at a molecular level. Helps reverse 10 signs of damage in 1 minute. Keep living. We'll keep repairing.
The Spokane Fair is Friday, September 6th to Sunday, September 15th. This is where the Idaho Central Credit Union Tough Enough to Wear Pink PRCA Rodeo happens Friday, September 6th. Get your tickets today at thespokanefair.com.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Welcome back. Reproductive health has now become a subject of conversation in Washington's race for governor.
Candidate Bob Ferguson has repeatedly called his opponent Dave Reichert an anti-choice Republican. Marissa Rio joins us in studio now and explains the authority the governor has when it comes to the state's abortion laws. Marissa.
Well, that authority is almost none, which is why this is an interesting topic of discussion when it comes to this race. Abortion has been legal in Washington since 1970, and that seems unlikely to change anytime soon. The legislature is ruled by a Democratic majority. Still, Bob Ferguson believes this is an important issue to tackle. Whether it's social media posts or emails, Bob Ferguson has specifically called out Dave Reichert's voting record on abortion. Ferguson has said as a member of Congress, Reichert voted on a nationwide abortion ban in 2013, 2015, and 2017. Records show Reichert did vote yes on a bill those 3 years titled Pain-Capable Unborn Child Protection Act. The bill would ban abortion at 20 weeks and later, with exceptions for rape and incest. It is for that reason, Reichert says, he didn't vote on a national abortion ban.
And I think the law here in Washington State is also similar in that it explains viability as 22, 23, 24 weeks. So I actually voted for a piece of legislation that's very similar to Washington State's abortion law.
The bill Reichert voted on would also criminalize those who performed or attempted to perform an abortion after those 20 weeks.
And I realize he recognizes his voting record on taking votes to make legal abortions illegal in Washington State, and by the way, criminalizing doctors, is wildly out of step with the mainstream Washington State.
According to the National Library of Medicine, most newborns born at or above 26 weeks of gestation have, with active intervention, a high likelihood of survival, while below 22 weeks are virtually non-viable. It considers between 22 and 26 weeks of gestational age as a gray zone. In Washington, abortions are legal up until the fetus could live outside of a woman's body. That's something that's left up to her provider to determine. Reichert today says he'd protect that law as governor and pointed to a time when he was an officer in King County when pro-life people came to protest and block access to a local abortion clinic.
Well, my job as a police officer was to keep that abortion clinic open to serve the needs of the women in the Federal Way area. And that's exactly what I did. I enforced the law. That's in 1970. I will do exactly the same thing as governor. I will enforce the law the laws that currently exist as it relates to abortion.
Bob Ferguson said he'd protect that right to an abortion as well.
All right, so what are the ways he'd protect that right?
Well, governor doesn't play a big role in changing these laws. Bob Ferguson made a good point in that the governor is the one who appoints a judge when there's a vacancy. Obviously, we elect them like we saw in your story, but when there is a vacancy, that's the governor's position. So he said he would appoint someone that had believed in abortion rights, and he would also make sure that we as a state continue to fund organizations like Planned Parenthood.
All right, Marissa, thank you for answering those questions. Between now and Election Day, we will be doing more stories just like Marissa's to make sure that you have all the information you need to cast your vote. And we do want to hear from you. You can share your questions with us, and it helps drive our coverage. We'll make sure you're well informed when you cast your vote. To find the place to submit your questions online, head on over to kxly.com/forthepeople.
Well, Multicare is receiving more than $1 million to expand support for sexual assault survivors across the state of Washington. That money will be used to establish sexual assault nurse examiner training programs. Here in Spokane, that money will be used to upgrade forensic photography equipment.
Let's send it on over now to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker, who is tracking a really warm first day of school week for a lot of kids, Chris.
Yes, we are heading from the 80s to the 90s in the forecast. But boy, the sun sets early on these hot days. Sunset now 7:25, so we are less than an hour away from that sunset. Temperatures for highs today were in the 80s in most locations. Few spots getting into the 90s, including Omak and Moses Lake. It did get to 90 in Grand Coulee, 78 in Pullman, and 85 in Lewiston. A little bit cooler down on the Palouse, starting the day off with some showers. We had a few showers and isolated thunderstorms around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene this morning as well. Tomorrow we will not see those showers and thunderstorms, and with bright blue skies all day long, we are heading up into the upper 80s in Spokane, mid 80s in Coeur d'Alene, with 90s from Lewiston to Ritzville, Grand Coulee, Omak 91 degrees, and it is going to get even hotter in the forecast. And right around the Spokane area, there'll be a few spots in the 90s tomorrow, including 9 Mile, 90 in Meade, and in downtown, 91 degrees. Light winds, blue skies. We may start the day off in the 50s, but that will not be the case for long. More than 10 degrees above average, and it gets even hotter. I'll be talking about how unusual it is to see all these 90s in September coming up in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. A teenage boy died in a car crash in North Spokane yesterday morning. The sheriff's office says deputies responded to a crash and fire on North Madison Street, northwest of Colbert. Deputies found the truck heavily damaged on the side of the road. When they got a closer look, they found the teenage driver dead. Investigators say the teen lost control of the truck and hit a tree, causing it to catch fire. That fire then spread to nearby brush. Investigators have not yet released the name of the driver.
Well, the city of Spokane wants your opinion on how it should spend $22 million in federal funding over the next 5 years. The survey includes questions like, what are the most critical housing needs in Spokane, and what community developments still need to be done? You can find a link to fill out that survey right now on KXLY.com.
Well, as we've been telling you, today was the first day back to school for many kids in our area.
And that includes Spokane Public Schools parents, teachers, kids, all smiles as they were walking on campus. Allison Martinez gives us a look at the back to school excitement at one elementary school.
A new school year means new classes, new friends, and for Garfield Elementary, it means a new principal. Today I learned what parents can look forward to ahead of the school year. Do you like school?
Because I get to learn a lot.
This morning, the alarm clock was a rude awakening for some, but for others, it might as well have been Christmas morning.
When I woke up, I was really excited.
Kids at Garfield Elementary were grinning from ear to ear as they reunited with old friends and saw new faces.
I have a lot of names to learn being brand new from staff and students and families and all those kind of things. So right now it's just about starting those positive relationships.
George Gessler is the new principal at Garfield Elementary. He taught for 30 years before taking on this role. Gessler says he's excited to continue Garfield's legacy as a community school.
The main thing is just thankful to be here and thankful to have this experience and thankful to kind of get school started.
Reporting in Spokane, Allison Martinez, 4 News Now.
So fun, and it wouldn't be the first day of school without some back-to-school themed throwbacks. So here is one of me. And I'm trying to remember. I think this must have been first grade because I was in Alabama and we wore some really fancy duds when we went to school in Alabama. So that looks like an Easter outfit.
I like it. I like it. All right, here's one of me from back in 8th grade at Frontier Junior High in Moses Lake alongside my 2 boys who started their sophomore and 8th grade years today. And as you can see, the Dice jeans are pretty strong.
Yeah, no resemblance at all.
And here's one of our sports director, Julian Minensone, on his first day of school in the 3rd grade. Look at cute little Julian there, huh?
I know, what happened? No, that was Rossmore Elementary School out in Southern California, 3rd grade. Not many more smiles after that year, I'll tell you that right now. No, but it was fun.
Oh, good stuff. Well, Eastern Washington had a few more days to prepare for their next opponent, the Drake Bulldogs.
Yeah, the Eagles played on Thursday, and they're making the most of that extra practice time.
Yeah, it was all business at practice earlier this afternoon. The Eagles are ready to go. Coming up next, why Eastern may be further along than in previous years. That's next in sports.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Post Falls Volkswagen.
It's time to heat things up with Falco's annual More Than Fair sale. Our Enviro Fireplace showroom is simply too big to bring to the fair. So if you'll come see us, we'll give you the best deal on all Enviro pellet and gas heating appliances. Enviro Fireplaces at Falco's, 9310 East Sprague.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathed the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
Wherever you need us, American On Site.
Comes Company, the smash hit Broadway musical. Winner of 5 Tony Awards, including Best Revival of a Musical. Company is a hilarious musical masterpiece about life, love, and good company. Critics give it 5 stars, saying yes. It's really that good. Playing September 11th through 15th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just 1 day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
It's time to heat things up with Falco's annual More Than Fair sale. Our Enviro Fireplace showroom is simply too big to bring to the fair. So if you'll come see us, we'll give you the best deal on all Enviro pellet and gas heating appliances. Enviro Fireplaces at Falco's, 9310 East Sprague.
Next ET. The biggest of the biggest. Pitt, Clooney, Craig, the stars taking over the Venice Film Festival. Plus, Ryan Seacrest counts down to his Wheel of Fortune debut. Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Where am I supposed to go from here? My entire life I've been pouring into people. I don't want to make a mistake. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into sports. I'm Julian Minnesota. While Washington State's 2024 football schedule is filled with Mountain West opponents, the calendar might have a different look next year. The Pac-12 has decided not to extend the scheduling agreement with the Mountain West Conference. And in this week's Cougar Chalk Talk, Sydney Berger's in Pullman with why these next 2 games for Washington State are the most important of the season.
The Cougars are preparing for Texas Tech this weekend. It's their biggest home game of the season and just one of 2 opportunities to play against a Power 5 or Power 4 school. An impressive performance against a Big 12 opponent this week and a Big 10 opponent next week will prove the Cougs can hang with the big dogs. Washington State has remained an underdog in conference realignment, but as a team, they'd say otherwise.
I feel like there's definitely something to prove. So I feel like we're underdogs? No. I would never feel like that. The Pac-12 has not renewed the scheduling agreement with the Mountain West, which means Washington State and Oregon State are looking to fill the question marks on their 2025 schedule. Showing off against Texas Tech and UW is an important resume builder if the Cougs want to prove they can still flourish at the Power 5 level. We've been working, grinding every day. So like I said, we just got to wait and see, man. I feel like we're going to be good, though. We're going to be great.
Of course, Coach Jake Dickert says it doesn't matter who they are playing. It's business as usual.
It's a faceless opponent, and it's our second opportunity this season to prove who we want to be as a football team. I mean, that's going to be our focus. We talk about it all the time. We train in the dark, so in those moments in the spotlight, we're conditioned to do what we're trained to do, period.
Whether or not they want to admit it, the next 2 games are the most important for Washington State's season and getting closer to an answer on their conference future. Of course, the Cougs will give it all they've got on Saturday. Kickoff against the Texas Tech Red Raiders will be at 7 o'clock. Reporting in Pullman, Sydney Berger, 4 News Now Sports.
All right, Sydney, thank you. Now, Eastern Washington has a second straight home game this week as well, taking on Drake. According to head coach Aaron Best, this is the first time they've started a season with back-to-back home games against FCS opponents. The Eagles opened up with a huge win over Monmouth last Thursday, and they're hoping to continue that trend. Best says playing in front of the home crowd this early has been an advantage. Just see how many times he used it in this soundbite.
I do think it's an advantage, so if it is an advantage and we believe it's an advantage, let's use that to our advantage, because after this game, then all of a sudden it becomes not as advantageous when you're going on the road.
How's that?
5. I got 5.
5. You would be right, Derek. Kickoff against Drake's at 4 o'clock on Saturday, the advantage at the Red. Now, this football season, we are launching the 4 News Now Game of the Week. Each week, we're going to give you a set of high school games to vote on to be that Game of the Week. The winner will be chosen on Thursday. We'll be live at that game during our 6 o'clock show on Friday. This week's games includes University and Meade, Gonzaga Prep Ridgeline, Shadle Park, and Ferris. And to vote, you can go on our website, KXLY.com. With the Spokane schools starting, that means they also start in the football field, because last Friday we had the Idaho schools kind of getting us started, but now the real fun begins with both states underway.
I like that idea, though, letting people vote on it.
Yeah, we want the viewers to give their input on the big games of the high school teams and the kids in our area. So.
Julian, thank you.
I wish we could vote on the weather. Then we might all vote for a little bit of rain, but instead a warming trend in our forecast. The air quality, however, has been improving. We'll be in the 90s starting Wednesday and continuing through the weekend with no sign of rain. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Who isn't looking for extra ways to save some money these days, right? I'm always looking for new ways to save, but I haven't found anything better than my Ascend checking account. It's a free account that offers 3.5% of your average monthly balance. That could feed your coffee obsession for 2 weeks. Not only am I earning money, but it also has all the best features of a checking account. What's not to love?
Open your P1FCU checking account at p1fcu.org and start earning today.
Did you know that Spokane Hyperbaric Center uses oxygen to reduce pain, inflammation, and swelling?
I didn't know that.
Did you know that hyperbaric oxygen therapy promotes new blood vessel growth, fights infection, and releases more stem cells from your bone marrow?
I didn't know that.
Would you like to know if Spokane Hyperbaric Center is the right choice for you? Go to hyperbarichope.com to find out.
Spokane Hyperbaric Center gave us hope. And now you know.
Looks like you need some kind of quick payment to settle this whole mess.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to those one call that's all guys.
We want to make sure you're actually taken care of after an accident like this.
One call, that's all.
509-999-9999.
Hey, Andy here with Brothers Flooring Design, and if you've been looking to remodel your kitchen or bathroom and are looking for a company who can pick out what you need, design it, and install it, at Brothers Flooring we can do it all. I guarantee it.
How you doing? I noticed your windows could use an update.
No, our house is only 3 years old.
Well, see, here's the thing. I mean, we're offering 40% off right now, today only. You're gonna want those new windows.
No, we're good. Hello?
How about them windows? Double or nothing. Come on.
Knock out high-pressure sales with Northwest Window and Door. Let our friendly, knowledgeable sales team help you today.
If you want to shine this summer and say goodbye to that winter weight, then this week is the perfect time to join Move Fitness and get started on a new workout routine to get you sculpted for the swimsuit season. Move Fitness.
Take that up a little bit higher. You should feel that, like right back here.
Oh, yeah, I felt that.
Good. That is so much better than last week.
Thanks. I've been doing them every night while I'm watching TV.
Oh, what are you watching?
It's a mystery.
High quality care that meets you where you are.
The Spokane Fair is September 6 to 15. Plan your fun at thespokanefair.com.
All right, welcome back. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker joins us once again.
We've been talking a lot about back to school and a lot about heat.
Yes, they typically do not go hand in hand, at least here where we go back to school in September, but we have got some hot weather on the way. Subject of tonight's forecast focus, and it is a little unusual to see the kind of numbers that we are going to be seeing here. Let's start off with our almanac. 82 was the high today. That's going to be the cool day of the week. 78 is our average high. I do want to point out that sunset time because it is quite early at 7:25. We have had 32 days in 2024 of 90-degree or higher heat. The record is 42, so we need 10 more to get to a record. I don't think we have 10 more, but we've got plenty more. I want to point out we started off slow with 0 in May, 1 in June, both below average. Then we jumped up in July, our hottest July on record, to 21. August, we had 9, just 1 above average. In September, we averaged 1 day. We've already got that that day, and we have 4 more in the forecast. And now, the record for the number of 90-degree or higher days for the month of September is 10. That was set back in 1938. That puts us in the first place. Second place was in 2011 and 2 other previous years at 7. So it looks like right now we have got 1 in the bank, 4 in the forecast, possibly 5. We're going to make a run at and we had 0 last year, by the way. We're going to make a run at 5 or 6. Here's our high temperature trend. Tomorrow, 89. We could obviously bump up 1 degree to 90, and then we have 4 days in the mid-90s before things begin to cool down. And it looks like that trend will continue. Based on what I'm seeing currently, I don't think we'll manage another 90-degree day in the month of September. Stay tuned on that, though. So we'll see how these all add up as this ridge of high pressure takes over our weather pattern. Presently, it looks like this ridge is going to move off to the east as we get into the second half of the weekend and into early next week. That's going to allow some clouds to stream up from the south, and eventually the slight chance of some moisture a week from today, but right now it's only a 20% chance. And those far-flung 20% chances of precipitation tend to dry up like a mirage as we get closer to the time. In the meantime, we have got sunshine full force for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No morning showers and thunderstorms. Clouds begin to increase this weekend as our ridge begins to shift to the east. Our warming trend peaking on Saturday. Then we start to see our temperatures moderate back to 82, which is where we were today, and our average high by this time next week in the mid-70s. Derek?
All right, Chris, thank you. Well, around the Northwest.
Keep walking. Keep walking.
What you're looking at is body cam footage of a Pierce County Sheriff's deputy arresting a person they say was involved in a shooting spree on I-5 in Seattle. At least 4 people were injured in up to 5 shootings. No word yet on the motive.
Well, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Behind the scenes at the new Wheel of Fortune with special correspondent Maggie Sajak. Next, Inside Edition.
I'm on the set of Wheel of Fortune with Vanna White and the new host, Ryan Seacrest. It might be a new set, but it's still the same wheel.
Then, the running of the sorority girls. Hundreds of girls sprinting to their new homes. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
She's a gooseneck on a dually, long neck at the bar. It don't matter where I go, I always find my way back home. After all, my heart belongs to you. I don't mind second place. Ain't that amazing grace?
These are implant dentures, a new solution for tooth loss that is changing lives.
I have a phone full of selfies now. I think I look great.
It's so easy. Everything happened at the office.
Now I eat what I want. I'm confident in my smile.
It's a game changer.
If you want your smile back
at a price that works for you, you need to call them now.
Secure, affordable, and made to last. Implant dentures, now from Clear Choice, the #1 provider of fixed full-arch dental implants in the USA.
Hi, I'm Chris with Tactical Plumbing. We're a well-known, locally owned company with a great reputation with our customers. While the new housing boom stays strong, we are excited to announce that we are growing our company to provide homeowners with our precision services.
Tactical Plumbing has over 30 years of combined experience, and we are now booking residential service and repair. Tactical Plumbing providing our community with carefully planned and strategically executed plumbing solutions.
Call us or visit our website today for all of your plumbing needs.
Thanks, Road Warrior.
We get it. It's hard to say goodbye to your car. AutoNation will make it easy. We'll buy your car for top dollar. And with over 25,000 used vehicles available, AutoNation can help you say hello to your next car.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
Travel for Adventures is brought to you in part by Grant County Tourism.
All right, coming up tonight at 11 on Nightside, newly surfaced video shows a teenager allegedly driving at high speeds months before authorities say he was involved in an accident that killed another teen. Why the victim's family is trying to hold his mother accountable.
Your planning forecast, plan for some warm weather and sunshine. Morning lows in the 50s, but those temperatures will jump throughout the day.
I keep trying to channel fall, and this is not doing it for me.
Yeah, you've got a fall look about you.
It looks really red, but it's actually like a burnt orange.
Yeah.
It's not
like a pumpkin spice.
See you.